How often do you stop, close your eyes, and just listen to the sounds around you? It is listening week at our Raw Material, the second of the spiritual weeks. I am Tavish Carduff, and it's a special week this week. Of course, I record these in the week prior to the actual week, so it's emotion week, and we're going to work a little on blending. Blending emotion and listening can be really helpful when we have heightened feelings and when we're wound up about something. So right now, my dad is in the hospital. There are, as always with him, several things about this that are, couldn't ask for better. Situations that if the timing hadn't been just right, he wouldn't be here. But right now he is in the ICU on a ventilator. They've got him cooled to 33 degrees. And sometime tomorrow morning, they will start warming him back up to determine whether his brain function is good, and they'll take him off sedation and, just kind of we're going to wait and see what happens. There could potentially be a lot of fear around this situation because it's obviously very serious. In our family, in these situations, we have adopted a practice of staying in the moment, listening to our most positive voices, of course, learning what's really going on and understanding what medical situation is before us, but also, not listening to odds, not paying attention to the worst case scenario, and really just focusing on what we can, which is paying attention to energy and positive types of thoughts and imaginative, creative healing. I usually come up with some energetic cellular thing. Today it was, I was getting like brain, heart, lungs, and then just kind of going into the cells of each one. I had the colors pink, blue, and green all working together, and I kind of wrote out this thing and gave it to my mom and my sister. And just, if we each kind of think in this pattern, think about his cells, listen to ourselves resonate with his energy, his body while he's quiet and healing, we have an opportunity to affect the energy. And only from listening to myself and the situations around me and applying the type of information that just, comes when I get quiet and listen, I usually feel effective. The last time Duffy was in the ICU, we had a lot of people breathing for him and thinking about him, and it was his lungs that really needed support. Right now, it's all systems. So, whether that energy touches or whether that energy comes from anyone else or not, I have something to touch on and focus with and work with. And I just continue to listen to that inner voice, which, I call it whatever you want. Connection, spirit, your soul, your higher self. I don't really pay attention to what word we call it. I just know it's that voice that comes in when we get quiet and we listen to what's actually the best thing for us to focus on. There are so many things that we can grab onto that are fearful, and there are so many different avenues we can go down in what if. Right now, we don't even know the cause exactly of what went on with him. There's a lot of questions to piece together, and I will say that the universe has offered us so many voices to tell a story. Like I said, couldn't be better conditions to have him alive right now, even though we're waiting to see, what that actually looks like in the next couple of days. The listening pillar is our own, the spiritual forces we can use. We can take any sort of listening situation where we can, at this point we've got at our fingertips any, ocean sounds or outside or whatever kind of music you want. You can call up anything and listen to it right now. So there's no reason to not use this resource, this spiritual connection to shape our thoughts and feelings and help ourselves feel better. So back to blending, moving from emotion to listening back and forth, and even, recording this, I'm off my rhythm. I'm, taking a break from being at the hospital. So even getting myself grounded to do the recording today. I had to really listen from within, and I think my ego tried to talk myself out of doing it a little bit. I'll just wait and cram it tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, I came home and did what I needed to do instead of listening to my fears or my desire to, maybe even shut down and do nothing. I really listened to what's important and what I need to do. And I know that what I need to do is talk about this a little bit and share how getting that blend down, getting the emotional self to be standing there feeling the emotion that it feels, and also recognize, the conflicting feelings, recognizing we don't have to pick one, way that we feel about something. We can realize we can feel so many different ways, and the bad ones don't have to take over. And the good ones definitely shouldn't be way out in front of the more negative ones, because this entire thing leads us to wholeness. Not to bring it all to my dad this week, but this is my experience right now. His nurse is from Kenya, and he was talking about he grew up with a lot of music and how important music is to him, because we play music for Duffy in the ICU. So he was commenting on it and talking about how valuable that was in his own culture and in his childhood, and recognizing just the spiritual and healing value of it. And he's pretty fresh out of school. So I really like seeing that energy just go into the nursing field, someone who's willing to so openly talk about the aspects of listening that affect healing. So not only listening to ourselves, but listening for other people, listening to somebody's rhythm, listening to when one of your friends is down. I had a friend that's just gotten a rough diagnosis this week. Listening to where I think she is and where her rhythm is, what her heart's doing, what her, I don't know exactly what a biorhythm is, but I'm guessing, something along those lines, what her ups and downs of her energy might feel like right now. And I think we have the ability to tap into that in ways that we don't even realize. And the more we do it, the more practiced we become, the more we get to use that as something that actually helps us in our daily lives. When we get wrapped up in a thing, we can get so focused on what's just right in front of us. And the more that we back up and take a look at it from a different perspective, we get to listen more. We get to hear more and take in more about the situation. And as we learn more, we're able to handle more. So even if we're dealing with something scary or, even potentially life-changing, taking the time to listen to ourselves. There are sounds in the world that connect all of us. The sounds that we have are probably as infinite as the people we have. We all have a very different voice. And whether it's the sound of the voice or the words coming out of the voice, listening to something different is always going to help us grow. And the more we do that, the more we are intentionally opening ourselves up to remembering all of the things that we've forgotten about our own connection to spirit. So no matter what our brain, our mind believes about religion or connection or whatever we follow, there is something within us that resonates with the vibration of this world, of this energy, of this universe, of this awareness that we have. So whatever you want to call that, do your best this week to connect to that inner energy. And when you are, the one clue that I can give you is if you're actually listening to that voice, it's not fearful. It's not going to tell you negative or bad things about yourself. It is not going to judge you. It's really going to reflect your intentions, your desires, your creativity, your positive emotions and feedback. If we let that negative chatter fall away, there really is support, inner spiritual guidance available to each of us. And all I can say is clear the space so that you can hear it. Practice guidance for this week. Let's just start by like we started at the beginning, close your eyes, listen to the environment around you, and just see what comes before you. If you have the chance to close your eyes, really that helps a lot. And paying attention to what pictures come before your eyes will help you just get in a rhythm of your own, inner listening, that voice that comes to you. And as I say this, I usually record during the day and I look out the window and the moon is shining straight at me and I'm listening. Because when we calm down within ourselves, we see something reflected back to us. And I know that the moon reflects the mom and caring and nurturing. And I know that, my mom is on my mind right now, and just thinking about listening from within, getting through the night, and knowing that we won't have answers for a while. So patience. So thank you to listeners. Thank you to the moon for showing up exactly when I needed you. And I will be back next week when we talk about what comes next. Values and ideals. Looking forward to ideal situations happening. In the meantime, I'm going to listen from within.